blazing earth. Yeah, never forswear or whatever. This would be a good time to start getting some Elith bursts, because I need Malik and Hubert to get their, oh, that's right, he rides the thing. I need Malik and, Pounding Waves. Hubert to do their level 3 Mystic Arts. Oh, great, they're summoning more things. That's cringe. Ow. Don't waste his time, that's rude. Cool, breaking their ground. Die, die! Oh, right, this is the enemy that switches into all the small mandragoras. Fall! Good damage, keep getting them, keep getting them. Please die faster. No, let me, yes!
Embrace your pride and sleep. Just to dust. Eternal serenade.
Dude, he uses all 3 types of Elith. That's so cool. All right, 6, so that's Malik's done. Now we need to see Expiation, and then we need to see Richard's level 2 and 3, and then I think we've seen all the Mystic Arts. All of the Mystic Arts except for the level 4 Mystic Arts that we don't have access to yet. We'll get them later. Okay, well, since they split me up anyway, I guess I will just try and play as Richard now. There's no way we're getting through this dungeon this fast. I was thinking to myself, like, I know I hate this dungeon, but I don't remember why I hate it. I think the boss at the end is really annoying. No, it's the whole dungeon that I hate, because they do the split party thing.
You okay, Richard?
Yes, I'm fine.
I don't think we can get back up that way.
Doesn't look like it.
Asbel, Richard, are you okay?
We're fine! Keep going! We'll meet you up ahead!
Okay, be careful down there.
I wish that, I know the reason they're doing it narratively. I wish that we had Sophie for this section, because then you could have the original 3 friends, Sophie, Richard, and Asbel, the ones who made the friendship pact, during this section right out the gate in Lineage and Legacies, which would be really neat, like, thematically speaking. But also it would mean that between the 2 parties, first of all, both parties would have 3 members, but also you'd have Sophie, who can heal on one team, and Sharia, who can heal on the other.
Kinda takes you back to when we were kids, huh?
If you think about it as a filled half of the glass thing, you learn to love different characters. Wrong. I just don't like playing as Sharia, Hubert, or Malik. So it's not a case of learning to love different characters. It's a case of, hey, you have to play the game in a less fun way than you usually do for a dungeon. That's how I see it.
Except Sophie was with us as well.
Yeah, she was.
Asbel?
What is it?
How is Lambda doing? Has he been speaking with you or trying to manipulate you in any way?
Lambda currently manipulating Asbel, being like, tell him no, tell him no.
No, he hasn't tried anything like that.
I almost killed Sophie because I carried that thing inside me. If that ever happened to you...
Don't worry, Richard. Sophie and I are just fine. It's true that neither of us knows what Lambda will do going forward, but living with Lambda was my decision. Whatever problems come up, I'll find a way to deal with them.
Will you go away forever, like your father did? Will I be left behind because I'm not human?
Whatever problems.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I probably just hurt myself when we fell.
Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Come on, let's go.
I've noticed most of the recent Tales games has a section where you have to play as another character. Do they? Are you sure about that? I can't think of a time that happened in Tales of Arise. I think that you have Alphen throughout all of Tales of Arise. There's the section where Alphen can't use the burning sword, but you still have Alphen for, like, the whole thing, I believe. Tales of Berseria, I don't think there's any time that you don't have access to Velvet in Berseria. You get to play as Velvet the entire game if you want to. Berseria had that one boss fight against Rokuro's brother. Berseria might have had a scripted loss where Rokuro loses to him, but the actual fights, what's his name? I can't remember Rokuro's brother's name. The actual fight against him, you use the whole team. So that doesn't happen in Berseria. If it does happen in Berseria, it's literally one scripted loss where, like, Rokuro just gets hit by his mystic art. So I wouldn't even really count that. It's not comparable. And then in Xillia has, if you're playing Mila's story, there's a section where you have to play as Jude or Leia because Mila's legs are injured. But if you play Jude's story in Xillia 1, you get to play Jude the whole way through. And I'm pretty sure in Xillia 2, you have access to Luger the whole game. I think you're wrong. I think you made that statistic up in your head. In Xillia 2, Shigure was his name, thank you. In Xillia 2, I'm pretty sure you get to have Luger throughout the entire game. And I've only played Zestiria twice, but I cannot think of a time in Zestiria that you don't have Saray, other than Zestiria's DLC, which is DLC. And then in Berseria, you get to play as Velvet the whole game, except for one short little section where Shigure hits you with a mystic art, basically. You have to press, like, 5 buttons, so I think that's disingenuous to say that. It's nothing compared to what's happening right here, right now. What's fun with Grazes is that every character is good. You don't realize that what you're saying right now is subjective. I do not think that it is fun to play as Hubert or Malik. I just don't. So if you enjoy playing as them, that's awesome. But to just say that, like, I mean, technically speaking, every character is good, presumably because they were designed well, but not everyone is going to like playing as every character. So I just disagree with your premise. I do not think so. You just had fun as Malik? No, I didn't. What are you putting words in my mouth? Are you making things up? I got to use a cool mystic art as Malik. I did not have fun playing as Malik. Definitely not as much fun as I have playing as Asbel. Just because I was forced to play the character doesn't mean I had fun playing as them. What are you talking about?
Ow!
That wound must be more serious than you thought.
Yeah, maybe. I sure wish Sharia was here.
Of course. You finally reunite with Sharia after a half year, only to be torn asunder once more.
Actually, that's not what I
understand. And yet, why so long? Sharia has been busy with her work, but I know she's had many occasions to return to Lant.
She's been back twice, and both times I was in important meetings with my people.
Fool! What am I going to do with you, Asbel?
You fool!
Huh?
Who is more important? The woman who comes all the way to see you or some inconsequential vassal?
Hey, my vassals aren't inconsequential.
Fool!
Clearly, I need to educate you on the many great facets of gentlemanly behavior.
Thanks, but I'll pass.
No, I'm gonna be straight up with you. The best part of Lineage and Legacies is Richard. It actually kind of makes me think about how unfortunate it is that you don't get Richard for most of the base game, because Richard is legitimately one of my favorite characters in Graces. Like, I love what they do with him in the main story of the game, but you have so little time with Richard and so few skits with him. The skits in Lineage and Legacies with Richard are some of my favorite skits in all of Graces. He is such a fun character. I wish that we could have had more of him in the main game.
Game on.
Oh, I meant to switch to Richard, actually. Well, you know, we're about to wrap up, so I'll play as Richard next time. Like I said I would. Ow.
Okay.
Die. Tear apart!
No one can stand before my blade.
Does it justify my retainers making keychains with my face on them to pay off the debt? Oh, Richard. Richard. The Sylph Cloak. Put that on my boy. The Kaiser Rapier. Oh, here, you can have one of these, too. And I don't have any other Rise ones. May as well take the Succeed one. Oh, and then I didn't put the thing on you. Is this worth it? Now, why not? It means you can't get poisoned anymore. What have we here?
I hope Sharia and the others are doing all right.
Hubert and Captain Malik are there. I'm sure they're fine. Anyway, this place seems safe. Why don't we rest for a bit? Hey, Richard,
Yes?
do you ever think about the future? I mean, decades from now?
Where'd that come from?
Sophie was talking about how I'm gonna leave her behind when I die. I told her it was decades away and she shouldn't worry about it. I mean, I hadn't even really thought about it myself. But that just made her more upset. She said the years would pass in no time at all.
Is that why she isn't here?
It made me realize how differently she experiences time.
She seems so human. Sometimes I forget she won't grow old and die like the rest of us.
I've always treated her like a normal person, and I don't regret that at all. But at the same time, I haven't given the future a whole lot of thought.
Perhaps these are thoughts you should share with her instead of keeping them to yourself. If she mentioned it to you, it's likely a concern she's had for some time.
That's true.
You were able to accept Lambda's loneliness. If anyone can help Sophie with hers, it's you.
You're right. Thanks for talking to me.
Happy to help. Come on. I'm sure the others are getting worried.
Then let's go.
It's so Naruto. Oh, man. I forgot just how much, like, late game especially, Grace's, like, overlaps. Thematically speaking, like, the points they try to get across with Naruto. So many similarities. The whole, loneliness thing. Everything that happens with Lambda, like Naruto and Kurama's relationship.
Well, I'm nowhere near your level, Asbel.
I should have listened to that. I forgot that we'd be getting new victory quotes with Richard being back. Wonder how the others are doing. Switch parties.
I can't make out anything from up here.
Asbel, Richard, are you okay?
We're fine. Keep going. We'll meet you up ahead.
Okay, be careful down there.
That's my brother. Tough as a rock, if nothing else.
We should move before more monsters show up.
Well, if I'm gonna have to walk around as someone, I'm gonna walk around as Sharia, and I think I'll enjoy playing as Malik the most out of these three, although I'm not a big fan of Malik's playstyle either. Yo, what if we just left? Just leave him behind. Womp, 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 womp. I am gonna need to find a save point relatively soon. Dangerous liquid. Goodbye, dangerous liquid. Lavender. ×2 even. Can't touch this.
There certainly are a lot of monsters down here.
I just hope what we're doing helps to lessen the attacks on our people.
Your relief organization must have been heavily taxed recently. Are you getting enough rest?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just glad I can help somehow. I was so sick as a child, I never thought I'd be able to do anything. I guess I'm trying to make up for it now.
That's good for the people, but what about you? What about you and Asbel? My mother says he's been swamped with marriage proposals.
Oh?
Guys like him may be slow on the uptake, but once they make a choice, things tend to move quickly.
Well, I wish he'd hurry up so our mother can stop worrying about it.
Why don't you get married first? That might help ease her mind a little.
Well, why are we talking about me now?
Don't play dumb. We've all heard about your possible engagement to the president's daughter.
What? Really?
How do you know about that?
People talk, I listen. At this rate, you'll be the new president of Strata in no time.
Hubert, when did this happen?
It's nothing to do with me. The president brought up the idea of his own accord.
Hubert was just hanging out with the president one day, and the president was like, yo, you wanna marry my daughter? That'd be kinda cool, right?
And even if I did marry her, that doesn't mean I'd take over Strata. The presidency is not passed down through a bloodline. I thought you knew that.
Well,
Hey, wait up!
yeah, but usually, like, political-based families, you know, I'm just saying there's precedent for people in a family to, like, focus on politics and thus pick up the mantle, you know? Like, the two Bushes who were presidents for the USA. I'm pretty sure there are more examples, but I can only think of the two Bushes right now.
Kids these days.
Kids these days.
Marriage, huh? It's a wonderful thing.
That's strange talk, coming from a lifelong bachelor.
They say that when life breaks your spirit, a wife can help to mend it. And when you find yourselves apart, you need only shut your eyes to see her again.
Until she seizes control of your life one piece at a time and you find your own hopes and dreams put on hold.
Whoa, okay, Hubert, okay.
You can't even spend your own salary. You have to beg permission for every little thing you want to buy. Precious belongings you've labored to collect are tossed like so much junk. And yet she thinks nothing of taking your purse and blowing all your coin on some fancy hat.
That's very specific. Have you been married before?
Even a cursory examination of the topic proves that this is the only outcome. Instead of selecting a wife who intends to live solely through her husband's station, one should seek an independent-minded woman that... Yes, well, I think I've said enough. And if you're so eager to endorse the institution of marriage, perhaps you should get married yourself.
In any case, marriage is a wonderful thing. Don't you agree, Sharia?
Sharia?
Huh? Oh, right, marriage. Yeah, sure, you should marry someone if you want. I can't imagine doing it myself.
Sharia?
Waiting until you've completed all the things you want to do would be pretty selfish. Wouldn't it?
Everyone in the world is like, Sharia, please just marry Asbel already. Oh. Poor Sharia. Say it with me, chat. Poor Sharia. Okay, it is time to wrap up, though. I have stuff I have to do today. Let me just swap back over to Asbel and Richard, because they had a save point right over here. A little further back. Sharia just imagining, like, chibi versions of herself in Asbel in wedding outfits laughing is so funny, dude. Oh, I love it. All right, great stuff, great stuff. We finished the main story. We made it to Lineage and Legacies about 50 hours in. Grace, this is one of the longer Tales of games, especially when you do as much side content as I did. But, yeah, great stuff. I think we can probably finish the game in about 2 streams. I might be misjudging how long Lineage and Legacies is. Definitely 3 at most. But great stuff. For those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to catch streams live, link my Twitch channel description. I'd love to see you there. Or keep watching on YouTube. I appreciate your support either way. And until next time, farewell.